In the mighty Roman Empire, love had a language of its own, an empire that lasted for over 1,000 years and made its mark on every continent it touched. Rome was more than just a place of grand battles and lofty politics. It was a melting pot of cultures, traditions, and norms, forever changing the way we see the world today. A significant part of Roman culture was its unique take on love and sexuality. With a view of sexuality that intertwined personal desires with societal norms and expectations, Rome had its own vibrant and intricate tapestry of love. But beneath this colourful surface lay hidden truths that take us into the darker side of love in the Roman Empire. Join us as we embark on this journey to uncover the untold stories, shedding new light on the tragic truth about homosexuality in the mighty Roman Empire. It's key to remember that terms like homosexuality and heterosexuality are modern constructs. Born in the late 19th century, back then Rome did not perceive sexuality as a binary. In Roman society, sexuality was less about the gender of one's partner and more about societal roles and status. Dominance was highly valued, while submission was seen as a sign of weakness. This view starkly contrasts with today's understanding of homosexuality as a mutual relationship between consenting adults of the same gender. Gender roles in ancient Rome, on the other hand, were intertwined with this dominant, submissive paradigm. Men were expected to be dominant, not just in society, but also in their sexual relations. Any deviation was scorned upon, adding another layer to the complex nature of homosexuality in Rome. This nuanced understanding of homosexuality in ancient Rome sets the stage for unraveling the tragic truths hidden beneath the flamboyance of Roman society. Understanding the social landscape of the Roman Empire is crucial when deciphering the complex narrative of homosexuality within its borders. Just as the empire's grand structures stood testament to a strict social order, so too did the intimate facets of Roman sexual practices. In Rome, social status significantly influenced who could engage with whom sexually. Dominance, as we've noted, was a prized trait, and this extended to romantic and sexual relationships. A higher social standing often granted the privilege of sexual dominance, while those of lower status were expected to adopt a submissive role. The impact of slavery, a grim yet integral aspect of Roman society on homosexual relations, cannot be understated. Slaves, seen as property, often found themselves at the mercy of their master's sexual whims, regardless of their personal desires. Further complicating matters was the stigma associated with passivity for freeborn citizens. A freeborn Roman man engaging in submissive sexual acts was viewed as abandoning his male privilege, creating societal tension. This twisted perspective on dominance and submission lies at the heart of the tragic truth about homosexuality in the Roman Empire. It's a tale of passion ensnared by the chains of power and status, a compelling yet heartbreaking reality of ancient Rome. Just as the Roman Empire's societal structures shaped its views on homosexuality, so too did its spiritual beliefs and mythologies. Myths and legends often mirrored the society that spun them, and Rome was no exception. Homosexual relationships were far from taboo in these tales. Gods and mortals alike engaged in same-sex relationships, bringing a divine sanction to such unions in the eyes of the Romans. Significantly, Roman mythology was heavily influenced by Greek counterparts, which featured several homosexual relationships. This influence resulted in a certain acceptance and even idealization of such relationships in Roman society, differentiating it from many contemporary societies. Homosexuality also found its place in various religious rituals and festivals, further ingraining it into the societal fabric. Yet, even as it was celebrated in the realm of the divine, homosexuality was still tangled in a web of societal norms and stigmas on earth. This intersection of religion, mythology, and homosexuality thus uncovers another layer of the tragic truth about homosexuality in the Roman Empire. However, as we peel back more layers of Roman society, we reach the tragic heart of our exploration: the repression and punishment faced by homosexuals in the Roman Empire. This stark contrast between acceptance in mythology and persecution in reality paints a heartbreaking picture of Roman life. The legal framework in Rome was largely dictated by societal norms. Though there were no explicit laws against homosexuality, the role of social standing and the stigma attached to passivity meant that homosexual relationships were often fraught with legal and societal challenges. These challenges reflected a broader moral crisis within Rome. Publicly, Roman society appeared to accept, even celebrate homosexuality. Yet, underneath this surface lay deep-rooted stigmas and biases that permeated the social, legal, and political landscape. The penalties associated with homosexual behavior were severe. Individuals engaged in such relationships, particularly those who assumed a passive role, faced social ostracism, legal repercussions, and in some cases, physical punishments. This harsh reality further unveils the tragic truth about homosexuality in the Roman Empire. As we continue to explore the history of homosexuality in ancient Rome, some famous case studies provide color to the usually dry records of the law and social norms surrounding the concept of homosexuality. The love story of Emperor Hadrian and Antinous, the sharp wit of Juvenal's satires, and other historical accounts provide us with a more nuanced understanding of the tragic reality of homosexuality in the Roman Empire. Hadrian, who ruled from 117 to 138 AD, is often remembered for his great love for a young man named Antinous. Their story is among the most documented homosexual relationships of ancient Rome. Upon Antinous' untimely death in 130 AD, Hadrian's grief was so profound that he deified his beloved, an honor reserved for Roman emperors. Temples and statues were erected in Antinous' memory, and he was even given a star in the constellation Aquila. But behind the grandeur, their relationship was marked by power dynamics, an emperor and his favorite, and a tragic end, a stark reminder of the heart-wrenching reality of same-sex relationships in Roman times. On the other hand, we have Juvenal's satires. Juvenal, a Roman poet active in the late 1st and early 2nd centuries AD, often highlighted the hypocrisy of Roman society towards homosexuality. His biting commentary described how same-sex relationships, particularly those involving free-born men and slaves or sex workers, were often the subject of ridicule and scorn. Through his verses, Juvenal laid bare the tragic contradiction of Roman society's treatment of homosexuality. Apart from these well-known cases, other historical records also provide glimpses into the tragic truth. Records suggest that individuals known to engage in passive homosexual acts were often denied public honors and could even be stripped of their citizenship. What's more, the infamous Lex Scantinia, a law dating back to the early Roman Republic, is believed to have imposed severe penalties on those who violated the traditional norms of Roman masculinity, further emphasizing the tragic truth of homosexuality in the Roman Empire. It is also vital to consider how views about homosexuality have changed as we move from the grandeur of ancient Rome to the reality of the modern world. The societal norms and beliefs regarding homosexuality have seen an enormous shift since the days of the Roman Empire. Modern societies have come to accept that homosexuality isn't a choice, but an intrinsic aspect of a person's identity. This contrasts with Roman society, where homosexuality was tangled in a web of societal roles, social status, and power dynamics. In the modern world, the implications of Roman homosexuality can be seen in our continued struggle for LGBTQ+ rights. It's a stark reminder of how far we've come, yet how much further we have to go. The societal tension between acceptance and repression prevalent in the Roman Empire still exists today in many societies. The Roman Empire, with its grandeur and might, reflects the complexities of societal norms, power dynamics, and the human struggle for acceptance. The tragic truth of homosexuality in ancient Rome is a stark reminder of these realities. It makes us ponder the nuances of acceptance and stigmatization, then and now. As we look to the future, one question hangs in the air. Are we doing enough to prevent the tragic truths of the past from becoming the realities of our future? We are grateful that you joined us on our voyage today. We'll return shortly with another amazing video, so stay tuned.